Then again, with the new job and everything, it's been kind of rough just finding time to stream.
Oh yeah, trust me, I totally feel that. With my 2 jobs, it's just
Oh, right,
so
I forgot you
brutal.
work too. Yeah. Yeah, I got a new job and I work. My training is in mornings, so I'm getting up at like 7 a.m., which is drastically different. That's like 10 hours different than what I'm used to.
Yeah, that's a lot. I prefer that though. Like I feel like because I usually wake up right now on my days off at least. Like I'll wake up at like 2:30 in the afternoon. I feel like the day's already ruined. And I hate that feeling.
I wake up and I see the sun coming up, and I'm like, ugh. I kind of want MASH to get into the finals.
I mean, it's not gonna happen, but
He beat you.
he did.
Next round, he's only either got to get through Thoriel or who's Thoriel up against?
Ode.
Code, yeah.
Which, I mean, that Thoriel will stomp Code out. For being honest.
I mean, sure, but we said the same thing about you and MASH. Like, there was a good probability you were going to beat MASH, but all it takes is missing one check to screw the whole thing up.
Yeah, but the fact that's of a seed being like that again, where you have to go so much back and forth, is just stupid. Like, the chances of that happening again are so low.
Sure, but I want to remind you that the first round of the prelims had Red Coat in Temple.
Yeah, but that's easy. That's like normal. That's just late game routing. That's like a
sure
normal thing to go check there eventually. But like the fact that I had to go get high jump, to go back to Z to get brown coat, to go back to get drone, then to get into Kerr again to get. It's just so many stupid things, and that's where I got goofed up.
Sure, and I agree with you. But point is how often does Red Coat actually come up in Temple?
1% of the time.
I rest my case. Also, after watching your run earlier, I have some thoughts on things.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Namely some weird grapple jank.
Imagine my surprise at that.
Yeah, no, your run earlier got me thinking about jank. And it wasn't you, it was MASH, actually.
That's funny.
Like, watching MASH play, I was like, ooh, I have an idea for jank that might not ever really be worth it, but is potentially plausible jank. And
we're gonna find out, yeah.
It's like finding those shortcuts of being able to skip 82 and address bombs that I like finding. Where'd my mouse go? There it is. There we are. Hi, everyone. So, I haven't played Axiom Verge in a while, and watching the second round of the Axiom Verge tournament today made me want to play Axiom Verge. So, that's what I'm doing. And my controller shut off. Falc's gonna run with me, because Falc wasn't doing anything today.
Yay for having a clear schedule.
Right? And he might get a little redemption off me, because unfortunately Falk lost his round today due to time. Would you have actually ever found that spot?
No, probably not. Because I had already, I knew I missed the check, but I kept going back to Absu thinking that's where I missed, and it obviously wasn't there.
Yeah, that was rough.
Like, I would not have gone back, because I went to that specific room twice in the run, and I'm like, oh no, I cleared all of it.
You did, and you went past it, and we were just like we were, go back and watch the commentary on that run, because, we were like, we're pretty sure neither of you guys checked Firewall for a while, and neither of you checked the drone wall, and we're just like, you guys went down, grabbed high jump, but didn't check Firewall on the way back. It was like, what?
I absolutely did. I checked that stupid check, and it was nothing. I just didn't go into the wall with the drone.
Oh yeah, I think you checked it like way later, but neither of you checked it after immediately.
I don't know if I checked it the first time or not. Yeah. That I can't remember, but I definitely did that check.
Yeah, neither of you checked it immediately after picking up high jump. Anyways, so daily seed, I got it in. I'm ready to go if you are.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
We'll play advance since that's.
Yeah.
This is kind of practice for my tournament match, which should be coming up at some point.
Hopefully the next week or so.
That'd be nice. Alright, you ready?
Absolutely.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. And remember, all the cool kids do the moonwalk. I did ask Thoriel if he wanted to come play today, but unfortunately he's apparently got a bit of a stomach ache because some ice cream cake's not sitting well.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
I can feel that. I'm not a big ice cream cake fan myself anyway, so... You know...
I'm here and there, right? Do a flip. I will, but later.
Always a fun starting weapon.
Not the worst.
I'm not mad about it.
I cannot get to that at the moment. But there will be a point later when I can get to that. Swag jump.
Did not get swag jump. Okay.
Yeah, alright.
That thing I said about, Turbine Pulse not being bad, never mind. It's all gone now. We'll never see it again.
Very true. All my trackers working. Looks like it. Yes, fantastic. Do the water? No, still don't have time. Trust me, there will be a point for time. It's just not gonna be for a minute. A good minute. Phrasing minute. Trust me, I did not have time. Happy it cost me time.
Thank you to whoever that was then.
That was Wonder. It was one of my mods.
Got it. I don't have your stream up, so I don't know who's talking to you.
Right. Hi, Chris. Yeah, you actually made it here, like, right in time. We're only a few minutes in. Chris, when are you gonna come play Randomizer? Or let me teach you how to do weird shit in this game. Soon, TM. Great.
TBD, in other words.
I mean, with him, yeah. He has so much stuff going on with his own stream stuff. It's... I could tell you, but I can't tell you. Because we're in a race. Actually, fuck it. Falk, you're out of Arabu by now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this weapon is Fat Beam. It's one of the Secret World weapons. Its range is three map tiles long.
And doors are merely an illusion.
Yes. It also hits multiple times. Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely broken. It's a really dumb weapon.
What is this seed, though?
I know, right?
So confused.
I agree. The seed is really good, that's what it is.
So far, I have no complaints. Probably shouldn't have done that, but that was my own fault, so that's okay.
Did you die already?
No,
Oh.
no. Just silly lifestyle choice on that room. That's just me being a goofball, though, more than anything else. Much as I'd love to blame the game.
Just some of them? Do you understand that that one's a bad weapon?
Was it possibly the worst weapon?
Possibly.
I wonder what you could have been looking at.
Maybe. I mean, I am a little bit behind you because of that drink of water, so... 5-second time loss.
That's okay, my controller will glitch out 5 seconds worth during the run anyway. It all evens out.
Yes, that would be correct. Well, Chris, if you played the game more often, you'd know the icons better. Ooh, I just realized I get to use some of my new tech. I'm actually excited for this. I figured that move out like a week ago, and didn't know if I'd ever actually get to use it. Yes, there you go. That's correct.
Alright, Seed, enough now.
Having fun yet?
Oh, I'm having a great time, just... Like, health node anybody? Like, can I get rid of these? Can I trade something for power? It's like just health nodes were just on sale.
Right?
With the Costco and got the value pack.
I don't know, I still probably so far would have taken the seat over the one you had earlier.
I would take any seed over the one I had earlier. That was horrendous on all accounts.
I was actually really hoping it was going to be vanilla red coat in your seed.
Dude, I was so excited. I'm like, I get to show off Temple? Let's go! Like, I was convinced it was there, honestly. And then, obviously, no. Not so much.
Yeah, like, as soon as you saw Sujin Key, we were all just immediately like, oh no!
I mean, I had to go at that point in time. I had to. Like, hey, here we go. Let's see what happens. I don't know.
The seed that Falk was in earlier for his tournament match went to time, which, the matches are limited to an hour and a half. Neither person finished the run.
And that literally never happens. Never happens. Like, that was the rarest occurrence of all time. We comically said give an hour and a half for like races because 95% of races are 45 minutes or less.
Yeah.
And neither one of us finished. It's just so sickening.
Yeah, it was an absolutely horrendous seed. No, people have spent far longer than that on a randomizer seed. Falk, how fast was your first randomizer seed?
Probably an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes.
Sounds about right.
But I already had extensive knowledge of this game, so I already knew like every check there was to do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the biggest thing about this game. Once you learn the world layout, because the only thing that's randomized is the item locations. Once you know the layout of the world, it's not that bad of a game to run in Randomizer. If you tried to play it after only beating this game once, you'll probably spend 15 hours.
So Chris was saying that, is he gonna get made fun of for his first randomizer taking like 3 hours? Mind you, he has beaten the game one time.
No.
But he also did it on a hard first try.
That's just asking for trouble.
He was asking for trouble. And he got 80% items.
Yeah, especially if you play on default mode, like that. The default mode, like logically, just makes it very, very forgiving on the player. So.
Yeah, like that's also a big difference. It's like if you're gonna start with randomizer or start trying to play randomizer, A, don't play on hard because nobody plays on hard, and B, start with default logic. Mostly because Masochist requires you to do a bunch of random dumb tricks, and Advanced requires can require you to do some more advanced stuff that, like I said, let me teach you. I just realized I slid my chair and I'm falling out of picture. The ouch says 8.5 hours on his first randomizer. So there you go, Chris. If you beat Randomizer in 3 hours, nobody's gonna mind.
Not in the slightest.
And like, the more you learn and the more like tips, tricks, and just random jank that we do, and you learn in like what situations it's useful, the faster and faster you get at doing it. Oh good, no pressure. But yeah, like, I could certainly say that I didn't start off running seeds in 30 minutes. Like, that's not a thing that happens overnight.
No, and when you watch somebody else do it, you're like, oh, how the hell can they do it? They'll never get that good. But really, it's just understanding the layout.
Yeah.
That's 98% of this randomizer.
It helps that I built a tracker, because having built the tracker let me learn a lot of, like, I can get here with this kind of thing. Like, I learned how to do some stuff that's not even actually in logic. Well, that's why we have trackers.
And that's also why we have the Discord community of people that'll more than be happy to help. That was always my biggest source of information, was just talking with other people and hearing how they got around certain things that I used to get stuck on all the time.
Right.
Alright, seriously, enough with the health notes, though. Like, for real. Not even kidding anymore.
Yeah, like
7.
That's the bigger thing, is like, you have 7?
7 health notes, yeah.
My god. Yeah, as Yash was saying, it's like, we have an actual map tracker that can help you learn, like, where you can get with what. On top of, like, it's a map tracker with logic. It's like, we have plenty of tools that are out there to help you learn how to, like, run this game.
Ooh, controller, work with me. There we go, we're back. There was that 5-second time loss. Maybe it was like 3, but still, you got most of it back.
Throwing? Throwing what? Oh, you mean his 5-second time loss? Yeah, like right in the beginning, Wonder was like, drink water, and I'm like, I can't, the time. So I snuck it in somewhere, I was like, there's a 5-second time loss. And Falcon was saying, yeah, at some point in time his controller will screw up.
My controller is very finicky, and it loves to just glitch out for a couple seconds here and there. Every once in a while, it just won't register inputs. And it happened.
Oh, yeah, like, that's the fast way to do that.
Fast way to do what?
Oh, vision.
Ah.
He's like, you just throw in the fight against him? Like, yeah, that's how you fight vision the fast way. You just throw the match.
I take it you're all go-moded up then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
You've lost.
I just got past Sentinel.
I'm Akatos right now.
Oh, very nice.
I mean, I only have one power node, so it's taking forever, but... Legit 7 health nodes.
How did you get ahead of me?
I don't know. Did you go into Kerr at all?
I did not.
Neither did I.
I didn't do maintenance tunnel.
I assume you drug skipped too, so you should have made up time on me there.
So I got a 3rd try.
Yeah, no, I didn't maintenance tunnel either. I went straight to a Ruby's lair, and because my power was terrible, I'm like, well. Did you do Arc Attic?
I did.
Because you got teleport.
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't get that advantage on you. I'm just trying to think of what I would have done that would get me ahead of you.
Yeah, that's like, where did you get so far ahead of me that you got half of Maruru done first?
That's the gems broken for the 3rd time right there. You know, I don't know, because I mean, I didn't. We had to have taken basically 99% the same route. I don't know. I really don't. But that is time
Nicely done.
at 28:54.
I'm just getting in at the toast.
19% item, 32% map. Yeah, I do know how to play this game still, kind of.
I got 4% more items than you did. I ended up with 2 power and 5 fragments.
Oh, okay. That's the hard bit. I grabbed 2 health fragments, 2 power fragments, and a ranged node.
I grabbed 1 health fragment somewhere.
I believe it was the blind one in Z.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Was the health fragment? It was one of the fragments. Power or health? I'm assuming health.
WR is world record.
Alright, while you're finishing up, I'm gonna grab a beverage. I will be right back.
Yep, I'm done with 2 rounds, so I'll be done here in a hot minute.
Alright, cool.
Oh, world record time on Randomizer? Because that depends on the category of Randomizer. Of which I hold a few of them. I think world record for... Yeah, for world record Randomizer, there's a lot of different categories.
Yeah, because some of them are set seed where you already know the route
Yeah.
going in, you're just doing it again. Some are random seed like we just did this one today.
Yeah, there's set seed, random seed, and then there's normal and
all
hard
the different
modes.
progressions, yeah.
All the different progressions, and then low percent. Whatever we're doing now, we're just playing, so, I mean, it's...
I mean, as far as I know for random seed, I think my 15-15. I think.
Thoriel
I
has
don't know
you.
that for a fact.
Thoriel has you beat for just
Does he?
any percent seed. Yeah, he got a sub
okay.
15.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, I ended up with 30, 48, 23% items, 29% map.
Nice. Like, I don't want to talk badly about Rando, but we don't. It's not really like a hotly competitive world record kind of a thing.
Yeah. Are we
It's more
doing
just
another?
races for fun. Yeah, I can do another one if you want.
Oh no, Chris was asking, are we doing another? Yeah, we're probably
sorry.
going to do a couple. Because I have a little bit of time to stream tonight. So probably this one, maybe one more, depending on how long the next one goes. You want to get us the seed?
Sure.
That's not what I meant to click. Oh yeah, I should probably grab my screenshot here.
I don't know why I did that in the general of general. That was silly of me. I'm just gonna delete that. I don't know why I did that there.
Yeah, we were only about a minute difference.
There we go. That's where I wanted it.
A 2-minute difference. Yeah, how did you get ahead of me? All that time I spent picking up.
I honestly don't know, buddy. I don't know. Like, knowing the routing of that seed, we should have been pretty much on top of each other the whole time.
It was the 9 node fragments I picked up. Or no, 11. 11 node fragments. Is like 33 seconds.
Roughly. It's like 3.2, 3.3 seconds per item grab. Something in that area. So,
what all do we need to get to Athetos? Okay, so this game has 2 different types of go mode. One being the harder version, which is what we generally aim for. Being that we technically only need red coat, high jump, and grapple. That is literally all we actually need to get to the end of the game. With that setup, it's possible to do a no health, no power run, but you also need something to cheese Athetos with, which is like a third of the weapons in the game. The other mode is drone go mode, which is what you would have done in your normal run, where you use the drone to teleport up the left side to go up to Mara-Uru. And that requires that you have red coat, drone teleport. You don't technically need a high jump, though. It makes it a hell of a lot easier.
And extended launch also helps that a lot as well.
Yes, extended launch is also not required, but is a hell of a lot easier. And if you don't have extended launch and high jump, you need either 81 address disruptor 1 or 2, or address bombs, as you need to be able to drone fly to get up the cliff on the left side. Alright, what we got here? So basically it's either get grapple or get drone and drone teleport. That's the kind of long story short of it.
If you actually look at the tracker Seraphin has with all the times, you'll see he got red coat, and then right underneath it, it said drone go mode and grapple go mode. So the tracker actually tells him, if he wasn't paying attention, tells him, hey, you're ready to end the game now, too.
Right, yeah, so if I wasn't, like, actually actively acknowledging what I have and going, okay, I know exactly what I need to get to the end of the game, that could tell you, hey, you have all the things now. You can technically go to the end of the game. Whether or not you're comfortable with doing that, I don't have my chat bot open. I gotta open that up. Give me just a second here, Falk.
No problem. Take your time, buddy.
Like, if you're not, comfortable on going to the end because, you still gotta deal with Sentinel. And dealing with fighting Sentinel in low percent, because as you noticed, I skipped him and Falk did a different method of skipping him. Fighting him with no health and no power is upsettingly difficult to do.
It's almost suicidal.
It is. Like, I personally won't go and try and fight Sentinel without having around 500 or 600 health, because I just know that without all 3 coats, I won't live. 2 coats and like 500 or 600 health, and I'll probably beat him, though it's going to be rough. Having power notes, of course, helps. I'm ready to go if you are.
Give me just 1 second, and I will be good to go.
We want Temple? Why?
Well, we never get what we want, right? So I figured reverse psychology this thing.
Yeah, but you know that Elsino's been spinning up the worst seeds.
I already had the crappy seed for the day. We're fine.
You say that.
Right. We're gonna be alright, I promise. I'm good anytime, too.
Alright, let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. For anybody who missed it earlier, just remember, all the cool kids do the moonwalk. Also, I certainly hope that you said that when you started your run.
I didn't say it out loud, but I thought it in my mind.
Thought
yes.
it. Good enough.
And I did do it for you. And I even picked a variegator for Arch's sake. I saw that thing and I was like, you piece of crap, and I grabbed it anyway.
Youch wants to see something behind the Sudran key door.
Well, you might be disappointed there, Youch, because if we have grapple, Sudran key doors are just, you know...
Yeah, Sudran key door is... The Sudran key is pointless. It's literally a dead item.
As long as you have grapple, remember.
Yeah.
If for some reason we don't have that, if we can't find it right away.
I mean, by the time you get to the temple, though, you should easily have it.
I would hope, yes, yeah. But, like, again, it could be one of those situations like here where it's just locked in Maruru, because we're on advance, so it's not part of the go mode logic. It is possible.
I mean, yes, it's possible, but the odds on that are so obscenely small that I won't even say that they're possible.
Fully agreed, it's an astronomical thing. But you were the one saying earlier about Red Coat having a 1% chance in Temple, so we're dealing with long odds. We're here.
It's a little more than 1%, but yeah.
We're here for that. You know what I'm not here for?
Nova?
Yeah. I did get swag jump, though, this time, so that's good. Your first item can be Drill. I mean, it's still technically a weapon. On Masochist logic, the first weapon can be the Grapple as well. It has to be some sort of way to deal damage or break blocks, though.
Yeah,
otherwise you'd be stuck.
The fun part is that Grapple can be used to actually get out of the room, because it can break the red blocks. And on top of that, in Masochist, you can end up not having a drill-type weapon, so drill or drone, in Erebu, because it is possible to clip yourself through the floor and out.
And yeah, get into Absu that way. We haven't had that seed yet. You and I keep searching for it for a while. Or we were actually stuck with just the grapple to escape.
Right.
No waiting for the day. It's out there. I know she's out there. We'll find her.
I still don't believe it exists. I've seen some seeds that got real close. I'd seen a handful that you could do with if you Zader skip, but something else was behind Zader, so it's like, eh.
Speaking of Zader.
Yeah, I'm walking in to say hi too.
Unfortunately. Did you peek the item below him?
That's actually what I'm peeking right now, so you're just a little bit ahead of me.
I was just gonna say, make sure you peek that item, please. Friendly competition and all.
Right. It's not the worst place for a trench coat. It's not like that full power node that was there.
Give me a full power node. I love that.
I hate seeing full power node behind Zader when the digging item is behind Zader.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that when you can't get to it before you fight him, but at the very least, like, help us out here.
Thank you, Ark.
You be like that sometimes? I don't know.
Just... Did you watch Ark's match? Of course you watched it, right? You're commentating. The way she fought Zader. Like, I see the value in it. It's an okay starting weapon.
It's a very good first playthrough weapon.
Yeah, oh, Chris loved Verge when he played the game.
Saves your bacon a lot when you're learning the game. Once you really know what you're doing, it's between meh and below average. In my opinion, anyway. I have really weird likes of weapons, though. But it's funny, there's always, like... Everybody has, like, that one weapon that they love that everybody else is like, really?
Yeah.
Like, I just love Tethered Charge so much.
I mean, to be fair, Tethered Charge is also really, really good.
It is really good.
I mean, it's literally the only game, or the only item in the game that wants to help you heal.
Doesn't Grapple pick it up too? Or am I just foolish?
I don't think I've ever tried to pick health up with Grapple.
For some reason, that's in my head, but I don't know for a fact that that's accurate. I'm about to try and find out in a minute. I don't know if it does.
I think I like the last scene better.
Not mad about this one so far, but the last one just was like, here's this, and this, and this. Oh, by the way, here's this. You're ready to go. It was weird. Just FYI, I might have to pause my game for 2 minutes. My dog's giving me that look like, hey, I really gotta go outside.
I mean, if you gotta pause, you gotta pause. Let me know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get to a safe spot and just take it quick. He literally is really good about it. He'll just go right outside and pee and be like, all right, that was it, bud. Thanks.
I mean, do you want me to pause?
No, like I said, I can just
okay.
save it and we'll go on, you know, IGT. I'm just gonna wait till I get to my next spot I can save somewhere.
What about a monkey?
If I like the sound of that. Alright, I'm gonna be right back in about 2 minutes.
Yep. I don't know if it's nice or not. I'll get back to you on that. Oh, yeah. That's convenient.
Alright, I am back.
Welcome back.
Oh, this is a seed.
Indeed it is. You know, I'm inclined to agree, but right now I'm also not going to argue about it. Or argue with it. I don't think you ever went back and got that item either, Chris. Which is the funniest part. Womp womp.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda, apparently.
Womp womp.
There it is.
Ew, bad weapon, go away.
Yeah, that's a thing you can do. In a normal game, you'd never be able to do that because logic and reasons. But yeah, that's a thing. I mean, it's not cheating if it's built into the game. Just saying. Wouldn't you agree?
Cheater. I vote cheat. I don't know what happened, but I'm voting cheat. Anything that helps me out, I vote cheat.
I mean, you're just gonna do it too.
Depends what it is. Where are we cheating?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, see? You're a cheater. If it wasn't cheating, you'd tell me. Thought we were friends.
Well, I mean, how far are you right now?
About to go to, Aruku?
Yeah, see, then you know exactly what I did.
Not necessarily.
Well,
I did skip a thing or two for fun.
yeah, but you're not staying in Aruka's room.
Ah, okay. That's fair then.
Yeah.
I immediately agree with your decision, and you are no longer called a cheater in my book.
Yeah, see? Chris was like, wait, you just left? You can do that? Fun fact about boss rooms as well, because you probably don't know. So because Fat Bean can hit 3 tiles away, it can hit things that are in, like, completely other rooms. And if you are in a boss room with Fat Beam and you can hit one of the like red switches that turn off beam doors, it unlocks the beam doors in the boss room and you can just leave the boss room. It's actually really great for just leaving Zader's room in the beginning of the game.
I'm sorry. You can actually hit Talal's too if you really know how to angle it right.
Yeah. You just
Which I've never done, but
you just angle down right as
it's a
you
thing.
jump through him. Like, that's all it is.
I mean, Talal's pretty much just a figment of our imaginations at this point anyway. The amount of seats he's actually needed, they're so minuscule.
Like, I like Kerr's music, but I don't like the intro to Kerr's music.
You know, like that woman?
Yeah.
I love all the music in this game.
Like,
it's really well made. It's not mixed well. I'll give it that. That's a detriment, but other than that.
Yeah, it's just the intro to Kerr's music that bugs me. I'm inclined to agree. Kerr's my favorite area in the game just because I really like its platforming.
I always loved Kerr, especially Mission Impossible Room. It's so beautiful when it's done right. And then when you're going up to get drawn, the vanilla game, the Armadillo rooms, I came up with the strat for that. That's like my one small claim to fame of this whole game.
I think Kerr is actually probably the area that annoys me most in vanilla. Just because it's a lot of the go up, go down, go up, go down.
It's huge, and it's very item dense. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it's just the, like, you gotta go up to get drone, you gotta come back down to get 82, you gotta go back up to get grapple.
Or you can play NMG and just not get grapple. Haha.
But you don't get grapple in NMG?
No, you do not.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It would take so long to go get it. It doesn't add anything to the run.
Don't you kind of have to have grapple for stuff, though?
No. The corruption in Eden to get the Uku Tower is 2 tile sticks. You can trench coat through it. That's like the sequence break. That's the one spot you would need to get Idris bombs and grapple to get to if you couldn't do that. But since you can just trench coat through that little corruption in Eden to get the Uku, you're totally fine.
No wonder I hate echoes. Yeah, that's exactly why I hate echoes. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned that before. It's like I don't like echoes because it's just a lot of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth between the exact same areas 8 times.
I enjoy that game, but I will definitely agree with you on that. There's so much back and forth.
Like, and I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, its puzzles are great, but there's just they went overboard on it.
And they did it again in Prime 3 for the most part. Not as much back and forth, but just like same areas of garbage. Prime 3 I was not a fan of.
Like 3 was okay.
It was okay. It's still my least favorite of the 3. I love 1. Still my favorite of the 3 by far.
Yeah, like, absolutely. By the way, I don't know if you've tuned in any of my streams anytime recently, but there's a mod for Dolphin, the Wii emulator,
Yeah.
that lets you basically bind a nunchuck to mouse and keyboard. So
Really?
you can play Prime Trilogy with mouse and keyboard.
I gotta say, that's kind of interesting.
It conveniently also happens to work with the GameCube version of Prime. Which means you can play Prime Randomizer with mouse and keyboard. Which is amazing.
And it's pretty cool, actually. I hate playing any games with KBM, but still, that's pretty amazing. Dang it.
I'm so mad right now.
Why is that?
I could have finished this seed like 15 minutes ago. Well, not 15. 10.
I was gonna say 10-ish, I might believe you.
I could have finished this 10-ish minutes ago.
I was gonna say, if you could finish it in 9 minutes, goddamn.
I would have been go mode 10 minutes ago. Or 15 minutes ago. I would have had it done in 10. From
Now that,
ago.
yeah, that I believe.
How's it going on your end?
I'm in Sentinel right now,
Yeah.
but we'll see what happens.
Are you in Sentinel with grapple or drone?
Drone.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Hi, Noble. Also, what in the butt?
What
I-
in the butt?
I'm assuming you're saying what to me going through the ceiling like that. Yeah, that's a thing.
Walls are suggestive in this game, confirmed.
R&D is suggestion. Do you want to know where grapple was?
Where was it?
Spider hack.
Ooh.
Right. I could have grabbed that right after Talal and just been gone.
Yeah, I did not bother doing any of that.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't feel nearly confident enough to go and fight Sentinel with like 300 health.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I fought him with 4 and 2. Wasn't so bad. With all 3 coats, it's really not that bad for me, at least. It's just like this is just my NMG training coming back to help.
Yeah, see, I'm not that great at fighting Sentinel. Also, yeah, Chris, I do that. Like I said, hang around for a while, you'll learn some tips.
Alright, that's GG.
Nicely done. I'm on my way into Athos right now. And I'm gonna have a really long fight against him. Because it's 1 power reverse slicer.
Oh, you didn't find flamethrower? Oof.
I did not. Where'd you find flamethrower?
Oof. That stinks. Was it wheelchair?
It couldn't have been. I would.
No. It
Unless
was,
you went back to start.
Hold on. I'll figure it was. Give me 1 second.
You know, come to think of it, I might not have went back to start after Zader.
Yeah, because after I killed Zeter, I did the drone stuff to the top of Ereboo.
I don't think I checked any of that. So that sucks.
Yeah, let's... Here, I'll tell you exactly what it was in a second. Let me just pull up the thing. Because now I'm curious if I'm misremembering or not. Yeah, it was in the multi-disruptor spot.
Ah, that sucks. Yeah, like with that, I probably would have went for Sentinel a bit sooner. Probably about 2 or 3 health notes less, so... Because I went all the way to Grapple's Vanilla. And then I was like, fucking hell, it's in Spider Heck, isn't it? Sure enough, I got the Spider Heck and it's there, and I'm just like, god damn it. I could have just went.
Yeah,
Given
since we had drone mode, I was just like, I'm just gonna go up through a Ruku and then catch a Rocco over to Vision and go from there.
Given if I hadn't went to Z, I wouldn't have found Reverse Slicer.
Oh, I didn't take a picture of my final time. It was 29:01 for the record, if you care.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like 4 minutes behind you because 1 power Reverse Slicer is slow.
Yeah, I ended up doing it with 4 and 3. I picked up fragments to get a 3rd power node along the way. I'm glad I did.
I should have picked up fragments this run.
If it's drone go mode, that's what I start doing. Like, I start finding fragments, especially for power health.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, but
Yeah, it should be the 3rd one.
I meant to do validation check too, and I didn't do it.
What was invalidation?
I don't know. I didn't check it. I'm gonna look at the right now and see if I can. Distortion field.
Oh.
So not like a super helpful.
Right. Well, it wasn't a temple seed.
It was not. See? There you go. Reverse psychology. Got it. That last hallway, Chris, where like all those disco balls are that are shooting lasers, there's a check right before the save spot. Right before you go into Athos' little layer there. There's one check there that is our validation. Although it doesn't validate anything, but
No, I mean...
the name from Link to the Past lives on.
Right.
All because of Seraphim.
Yeah, I get the blame for that one, because I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna start calling this validation check, and then everybody just was like, yeah, okay.
I loved that name, and I loved it before I even knew you came up with it.
Right.
It was amazing.
It's like, it was just the fact that I was like, I'm gonna start calling it this, and nobody disagreed. Nobody said a thing about it. Everybody just started on a whim calling it validation check. It's like, perfect. All right, one more.
Yeah, I'll do another one.
All right.
There, I just took my randomizer page in case you want to verify the time. Not that it matters.
I mean, I did that with the previous one, so.
Yeah, I mean,
Got one in there.
even if we were in competition, I feel like you and I could trust each other enough anyway.
I got one in there right above your picture.
Okay. Yep, let me just reset my widgets and I am ready to rock.
I think after 2 runs, I'm gonna restart my game real quick
Actually, that's a good idea.
because I did run into the sound bug yesterday. So, and we'd only played 2 games.
I ran into it during my seat today in the tournament.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sucks.
At about the hour and 10 minute mark.
Yeah, that's awful.
Not that it messed me up at all. It just was like, all of a sudden I was like, oh god, what else can go wrong?
Well, I mean, you lost, so I guess that counts as going wrong.
I was already lost before that happened.
How do you always change it to yellow? Because yellow's the color in line after purple. Like, if you look at the choose a color option, that actually is the order that the colors go in. So if whatever color you're trying to get it to is more than 3 ahead, you might as well just use the pick a color.
Okay, I am good to go anytime.
Alright, let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. Like 90% of the time I start with purple. 100% of the time I do the moonwalk.
Remember, kids. Ooh,
That's a starting weapon.
that is not what I want to see at all.
I don't mind this weapon that much, actually.
It's just so weak.
I agree, but it can at least hit blocks in front of you while you're walking.
Very true. Apparently your tracker didn't reset, Chris is saying.
I didn't refresh them on the stream. I will get those in just a minute. As soon as I get to a spot where it's not going to affect my in-game time. Which won't take long. Won't take that long, TM. Oof. Okay, that happened.
That's a thing.
That is the thing. New plan.
Sorry, sometimes I just feel like I just don't know how to play this game. I do weird stuff for no reason.
You do weird stuff all the time.
I know.
For no reason.
Like, I've played this game 10,000 times, and yet I still just do dumb shit. It's so weird. Like, you'd think I would just have, like, a set plan, at least for the very beginning of a game. But
Oh
no.
my god, so we laughed so hard earlier because I don't know if you heard it. I think you were in the other chat. But when Willow was introducing you, you're like, Falk has only ever played the first 30 seconds of this game.
Yeah, I heard that part of
Yeah.
it.
Oh my god, I laughed so hard. I literally had to cover my mouth to stop me from laughing on the street. Because I would have just overloaded my mic.
It's a completely unfair assessment. I accept it.
Alright, let's fix my trackers here real quick. There we go. And they'll take a second to catch back up. But they should. Did one of them not refresh? God damn it. I'll get that one next time around. That again won't be too long from now. That happens to be my favorite weapon in the game, actually. There we go, that should fix that one.
It's definitely a good one.
Like, I just mechanically like the weapon.
I think it looks cool. It's powerful. You can cheese with it.
Yeah.
What's
like,
not to like?
Exactly. It's also got long as fuck range. Like, there are very few weapons in the entire game that have range on par with this thing.
I can see chat, Chris, yes. I cannot see Seraphin's stream or the gameplay.
And it's fine, though, because there was no way he was going to miss that on the way out.
You're not really helping or hurting too much, Chris,
Yeah.
don't worry.
Also, this is friendly race, so...
Yeah, if this actually meant something, I would totally be blocked out. I just wanted to give Seraphin an extra viewer. And 95% of the spoilers, Chris, you were giving, I was already ahead of. So you're totally fine.
Yeah, you gotta remember, I went back for a minute to fix my tracker, so he's technically ahead of me on that. Like I said, Chris, friendly race, don't worry about it.
The first race we did, Chris, I actually didn't have Seraphin stream up. The last one I did. Just kind of took like the thought process of, again, yeah, it's friendly, like might as well just give the view count where I can. But obviously I don't want to watch Seraphin's gameplay. Oh, wow. Weird.
Yeah, I won't argue with that. Oh yeah, Falk, I guess since you're not in the tournament anymore, I can talk to you about the new things that I found.
If you want to.
Yeah, so you know the tree room in Absu, right?
Yeah.
So you can grapple clip through the floor,
Okay.
and that puts you in the, like, squid room underneath it. And it puts you in just a spot where if you just walk right, walk left, walk right, jump, jump again, you'll go right out the room.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
It's not a huge time save, but it is a minor time save because there's nothing in that room anyways. And it saves you 2 door transitions. So you, like, don't need to deal with the squids in there. You don't need to go around them or anything. You just right through the room. It's
pretty interesting.
It's like 10 seconds faster. If you can nail the grapple clip in 1 or 2 tries. It's a little wonky. But it's just right at the bottom of the tree. You stand in the little, like, pit-ish area that's there on the far right side. Aim left and hit grapple at its extent, and you'll go right through the floor.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's one of the new things I came up with that I didn't want to share with people, because I was like, it's like a 10-second time save if we have grapple and we can check that item. Plus, it's just one of those things I wanted to show off on stream before anyone else knew about it. I did...
Yeah, that's something I would never figure out, ever.
It's like, I did show it to Sabira, and Sabira's like, dude, that's aces.
Yeah, that's her catnip, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's her bag of tricks right there.
Yes, Scissor Beam is a hard secret world. Hard difficulty.
If you play the game on the normal mode, the story mode, there's 5 secret worlds in every run that you do, and they're randomly generated. And inside one of the 5 secret worlds will be a weapon. It'll either be Flamethrower, Scissor Beam, or Heat Seeker. You only can get 1 per save file. In Randomizer, they just added all the weapons into the pool.
I'm pretty sure that once you've gotten them all once too in normal, it's only like 50% chance because then there's 3 other items or you.
Yeah, once you have all of them, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know anybody who's playing story mode 4 times around anyway.
I mean, I played a lot of story mode long before Randomizer was ever available.
You can just play speedrun mode?
I mean, I did it once for the achievement, but...
Yeah, pretty much that's all I did. As soon as I beat the game once in story mode, I'm like, alright, I'm ready for speedrun time.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wasn't also really trying to, like, speedrun the game or anything at that point in time. I was just casually playing the game, so... It's like that, and I thought the secret worlds were really cool.
They are very interesting, I'll give it that. It's a really weird feel. The first time you find one, like, what's going on?
They add a nice challenge to the run. Especially you find one really early. Like,
yeah.
Getting through some of them really early is dreadful.
I don't remember like how early I found it my playthrough, but I remember finding one and like I literally thought like I broke the game at first because you know how it gets all warped looking and
right.
I was like, what the heck happened? I'm like, did my PlayStation die? No, you just found a crack.
Yeah.
In the gameplay.
It's like, yeah, it's really cool, and it's like, I think it's a neat thing, and I would have actually really liked to see them in Randomizer, but I also, from a separate perspective, completely understand why they're not in Randomizer.
Yeah, I don't even know about how functionality they could do that with, because I don't think it's built in. It's not built in like the speedrun code, which is what the randomizer uses. I don't even know. I don't. You know, obviously, I'm not a developer at all, so I mean, it could be just as simple as plugging in a few extra lines and you have it. But I doubt it.
But then the problem also becomes: do you generate things in the randomizer run in the secret worlds? Because in a normal run in story mode, they don't count towards your item percentage.
That's something I think down the line where you could toggle as an option. I don't know.
Right.
But
so it's like, how do you handle that kind of thing with randomizer? Do you leave it like just fragments, or do you put full nodes in there? And
That's the way I would say to do it. Is just put full ones in there. That way, if you go in there, at least you know you're guaranteed a like decent reward. So it's quite the time investment.
Yeah, Chris died a lot trying to go through his first secret world. I don't know if he ever found another one or not. He might have found a second one. The thing that got me about secret worlds is when I first played through the game, I found one. This was long before the game had the effect where like the screen kind of gets all fuzzy when you get near one.
Mm-hmm.
So like really, really early on. And I found one and went through it, and I was like, okay, cool, there was stuff in here. That's neat. And then the next time I played the game, I went to go through there, and it wasn't in the same spot, and I'm like, no, I'm 100% certain it was here. What's the deal with this?
I'm trying to think. I think I only ever found maybe 2 in my playthrough. Like, I don't think I've ever actually used any of the weapons outside of randomizer or randomizer mode. I don't think I ever got any of the special weapons.
I never found any of the hard ones, so that's why when I was like, I knew they existed. Like, I knew they were a thing, I knew they were in secret worlds. I just didn't know that they were in hard secret worlds, and I never found any of those, so... I'm going to make questionable routing choices.
Now you just sound like me.
Where do you think I get it from?
I mean, I always wanted to be an influencer, I guess. Yeesh. I'm sorry for any pain that this may cause you. I learned it from watching you, Dad.
I mean, as Falk was saying, he hit the curse seed earlier.
Oh, that was the worst. Even with perfect play, that would have been like a 45 to 50 minute seed. There was just so much back and forth.
I mean, I think I could have actually finished that one somewhere in around half an hour based on where you were going and what you had. Mostly because I would have grapple clipped into finding red coat. So, like, I would have never needed 82 or drone. But that's because I do some weird shit, so...
You do some jank. That is true.
What can I say? I got good at doing jank. I blame you guys.
That's a mistake by me. I'm doing silly things now. I mean, that's fair. I would blame me for everything anyway. I think that's a totally fair assessment.
I guess my question now is how hard in the jank do I go right now?
I mean, if you're gonna do it, go full jank, I say. Have a good time with it.
Fair enough. You second it.
I second that emotion.
I mean, it's tempting, but I don't particularly think I want to soft lock myself right now.
Not generally the best idea. I will say, though, you're probably ahead of me by quite a bit, so you could soft lock and still be fine.
I mean, maybe. I might not be.
I've done some really bad things to see.
Come on. Game Y. There we go. Come on. There you go. So there's some, right there's an example of some jank that I figured out. That's jank that's so good that Sabira rerouted that into her 100% IMB run, which is true 100% for this game. So, I mean, that should go to say something on how good that jank is. Are you go mode yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm guessing that means you're not either?
No.
Okay. I assume we're just looking for the same item then.
Red coat?
You got it.
Are you still running around in lab coat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I took a bad death, and then I accidentally, instead of recalling my drone, I went back to title another spot too, so I cost myself about 3 to 4 minutes in just bad gameplay.
Oof.
So, if you don't win this one, that's not, I mean, that means Red Coat's in a really bad spot. And I'm gonna have to get lucky.
This is definitely not the worst seed I've ever played. Not yet.
This seed is actually pretty decent. Like it's got enough stuff in it. It's not straightforward, so that's okay.
That is indeed an item. One that actually at this point I'm not particularly going to argue with. Why, Chris? Why couldn't you have done that, like, 20 seconds sooner?
Where's the fun in?
It's got to wait now. Well, actually, I could probably get in this room. Yeah, we're good. Oh, did I go too? I went too far.
You went too far.
Yeah, I went too far.
I don't know if I like the sound of that. I can only mean a few things. At least in my line of thinking, I guess. I guess it could really mean anything.
It absolutely could.
When you said that to me, that means I feel like you went too far trying to line up a pixel on drug skip.
No. I haven't soft-locked myself trying to do drug skip in too long, so...
One of these days I'll actually go to learn and do it. One day.
It's not hard.
Probably not. I know it's not hard, I don't know. I hate YMG with a passion. I'm playing the wrong game.
Yeah, why is that, actually?
Like I told you the other day, like, I know it's a bad line of thinking, but, like, I don't know, people that, like, need to find glitches to play games like this, I just feel like you just couldn't do it on your own.
But this is
And
literally
I know that's a bad line of thinking, I get that, like, but, I don't know, that's just the way I feel about it, like, I'd rather just play it by myself with my power, or what the game intended me to play it with.
But this is literally a game about glitching stuff.
Well, I still glitch a few things, but in the developer-intended way.
I mean, Tom intentionally designed the grapple to be jank. His words.
I don't know if he intended it to be quite as jank as we made it out to be, but he definitely made it out to be a broken item.
Like, that's not the point. The point is he made it to be jank intentionally. We just found out how jank. Oh yeah, Chris hates the grapple.
See, this is why I like Chris. We're on the same wavelength. I don't necessarily hate the grapple, but it's not my preferred item at all. That's why I like NMG, because we don't even get it.
Yeah, which is just like, I expect he's happy with how jank it is. I expect that too. Like,
Tom loves how broken the game is, actually. He, like, is a big fan of it.
yeah. Like, the fact that he has never fixed anything that wasn't, like, actually crashing the game is a testament to...
Yeah, in
like,
his words, as long as it didn't take away from the player experience, he doesn't care what we find. So, like, the day Seraphim finds a credit warp to Mar-Uru, Tom might have a problem with that.
I mean, not
Leave it in. He'll leave it in, but he might have a problem with it.
I mean, I don't think he'd have a problem with it if it's not something that is, like, easily... It's not... As long as it's not something that an average player is going to just run into.
Which, at this point in time, I don't think there's any of those surprises left, or there shouldn't be anyway. 6 years into a game, it should be just
Right.
about finding little pieces of things here and there now. Let's hope, anyway. If there's some big skip that we've missed after all this time, I'll be very upset with us as a community. We just see some random person playing this game on stream one day and they just break it.
Right.
And they don't even know that they've broken it.
They just go through a door transition and it goes to the credits. Oh, I guess I finished it.
Yeah, they're like, hey, 8 minutes, yeah.
35 minutes into a run of story mode.
That would break my heart, honest to God.
Hey, Chris, remind me to send you the dev commentary video for the task run of this game. Because Tom's in that video reacting to it, literally. And at one point in time in the video, he literally just goes, I have no idea what just happened.
What am I seeing? That was a great moment.
One of my favorite things that Tom's ever said is just, I have no idea what just happened.
And, like, he was excited by that. He loved it. Like, you know how there's probably so many developers out there to be like, oh my god, we gotta fix this, blah, 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 blah. Like, you broke my perfect game. And he's just like, no, this is awesome. Do your thing. Do your work, Stuart.
Also, that runs
down to
like,
it, guys,
what,
amazing.
15 minutes or something like that?
What was it? I think it's, I want to say 17?
Could be
Like,
17.
still just amazingly ridiculously fast.
That's like a little over half of world record time for YMG. Because I think YMG's
Yeah,
at like
30
30 and a half.
Yeah, somewhere in that area. Oh boy. Please don't die.
Something will actually make jank things more consistent for the sake of speed. So, speaking on that note, the whole thing with like being able to reset drone's cooldown, Tom actually knew about while making the game. And he intentionally didn't take it out of the game, but instead tied it behind like address disruptor. So that way you could still do it, you just have to do something to trigger its cooldown, so it's not something that any average person is going to accidentally run into.
I remember when I found that in the game, I just thought it was actually part of it. I didn't realize it was like a little bit of a trick.
That's what I did too. I was just like, oh, this is a thing, apparently. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah?
First try rocket jump.
Nice. It took me like 7 tries. It was horrible.
Oh no! Oh, that's bad.
Get the
There we go.
validation item.
Huh?
Get validation item.
Oh, it's too late.
Full power node.
Ah, it would be. How many are you on?
4 and 5.
I'm on 3-5, and I didn't
I
get
just-
validation, so...
Yeah, I just beat Apicos like the regular, more intended way. I didn't cheese him that time.
Oh yeah, I got here and I was like, I'm on 500 health, I'm just gonna cheese it.
Yeah, with 2 coats and 600 health, I can make that happen, especially with a flamethrower.
Yeah, like 600-700 I probably would have been fine with doing, but with like 500 things get a little sketchy in parts unless you're keeping really good track of the drones.
Our items are exactly the same, in exactly the same order.
You know what the funny part is? I went through Ukana. I don't know if you did or not.
I always do, because I don't drug skip.
No, I mean, So, real early in the game, it's like, as soon as we had Grapple and Lab Coat, I was like, I'm going to Ukana.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I did that right at the end, when I was in go mode.
Yeah, I went... I think I went through Z. Yeah, I went through Z. And that's time for me, by the way. I don't know where yours was.
39:16. Really horrible.
39:27. We were 11 seconds apart on that seed.
2 stupid deaths and a really stupid freaking back to title instead of drone collection. GG though, buddy.
Yeah, GG. That was good.
Literally, same item percent, same map percent. That's sick.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not. Never mind. Sorry, I had 26 items.
Yeah, you had a fair bit more items than I did.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, like I said, I don't remember what I was saying it to specifically, but I was like, 10 seconds can make a hell of a difference. We've had races this close, and
oh yeah,
boom, there's an 11-second difference.
That's crazy.
Okay, I think that's gonna be
awesome.
it for me for racing for the night, but I'm gonna show off some jank because I have a save file that's built here that has some DevTool stuff already set up on it. So,
alright. Sounds good, buddy. I'll let you do your thing. I'll watch. I'm just gonna get off voice.
Okay. Alright, I'll take it easy, and thanks for coming to race.
Of course, buddy. Anytime.
Okay, so, Chris, this is mostly for you, because I think most people otherwise have seen it by now. But, I have this set up that lets me do some jank. Specifically, I'm gonna go to... Area 6, save room 1. There goes the other trace. So back out here, the thing with this is that if you lock your position and then tap down, you could shoot grapple forward. I think I had you might have tried this at one point to grapple clip through a floor. If you aim down though and you jump and grapple a pipe, it does this with you. Specifically what's going on here is that I'm way up here. Like, just kind of swinging in the air up here, doing a whole lot of nothing. If you drop down into this area here, which is right above a save room. And there's a specific spot here that you can stand to grapple clip on that little ledge there. And I mean, it's like pixel perfect. Which I'm probably nowhere... Oh, yeah, there it is. If you do it wrong, like I just did, you grapple clip into the floor and soft lock yourself there. You can just use print screen to lag the game and get yourself out, though. And it'll just put you back up there. You can reline up and try it again. With red coat or trench coat, if you're on the wrong pixel and you soft lock yourself there, you can just dash through the floor. But anyways, if you just walk straight down out of this room, it puts you here. Which, when you walk out of that room, yes, you can print screen buffer to get through walls. I'll come back to that in a minute, so hold that thought. When you walk through that room, you just end up right here, right outside of the boss. So that's how you do drug skip, is you just glitch your way to the glitch yourself through the whole area and skip the whole hallucination sequence. There's another thing I'll show off for that too that makes it actually work in the any % story mode route. Yes, it does. Like I said, I'll come back to that in a minute though, because I'm actually gonna go show that here. So yeah, that's what happened when I went flying up and out of the screen. is I put myself all the way up above, I line myself up to a specific pixel, and then I clip through the floor. Skip the cutscene. Walls are indeed an illusion. Well, like we said, Tom made the grapple, like, super jank. And he did it on purpose. We just found out how jank it is. Walls are indeed a suggestion. Okay, so with that out of the way, that unlocks all of Ukin normally. So there's a bunch of other stuff you can do with grapple to get yourself weird places. If for some reason you don't have trench coat or red coat to be able to get down here to check this item, you can technically pull one of these and lock yourself in the wall and just send drone down. You won't be able to get back out with just lab coat, but that is a thing you can do. Come on, story, go through. So one of the new tricks that I found recently, that Sabira incorporated into her 100% IMB, which is all items, maps, and bosses, is in this room. Normally you would go all the way to the left side and you'd hack one of these things so it breaks through the floor and opens up a drone tunnel, which lets you into the tunnel that's underneath me. But if you do it right, you can just clip yourself in there. Like this. And if you have drone, you can just do that. Which is what I did earlier in one of my runs. Actually, it was just the run we just did. However, without red coat or, like either way, with red coat or trench coat, you'd just be stuck here. You can dash back out to just get out with either of those, and lab coat you'd have to do a jump. That I'll get to. But the fun thing about print screening is you could just do this and walk yourself right through the wall. And that's how you get in this room without drone. Because that's now a thing that's possible. And Sabira liked that so much she included it into her routing because, I mean, she doesn't have to come back through this room later. She had to reroute this whole area to account for that. Which is great. It's like, I actually found a thing, which is cool. To get back out, it's just as simple. You just line up to a specific spot and clip yourself back into it, print screen back, and if you only had lab coat, you just jump and print screen and hopefully come up on the correct side. A little more over. Yeah, I'm only come back up on this side for some reason. But you just do jank like that and just pop yourself back up out of the floor on the other side. That's a trick that I found out that I'm proud of, because it's actually useful. Like, if you come to this room from the other side without having Address Disruptor 2 to hack the boulders, or having Drone to be able to check the item, you no longer need either. Hell Hydrate. The last thing I want to show off in this area, while I'm at it, is in a story mode run, so in any percent. Oh yeah, if you don't have lab or if you only have lab coat, you can just pull one of these and just clip yourself in here, which lets you get into Trenchcoat's room. That's a thing you can do. And on your way out, you can just go like this and just clip yourself through that floor so you don't have to walk through that whole room. It's way faster. That one I think is doable, but it's like TAS only because it has to be hit in like an exact pixel to clip yourself on the other side of the wall, which is like damn near impossible or something. Why? Because Tom purposely designed it to be broken. We've been over this. Pay attention, damn it. So in a normal any percent run, I'm also just gonna turn on this because that's gonna come up in a minute. In a normal percent run, you would, as you might remember, you would go, you'd get lab coat, you get grapple, and you come this way, and then you'd go all the way back to the beginning area, use 82 to get through the blocks to come up the, like, left side of this area, because this beam is here, and you can't jump and get through it with lab coat, because lab coat doesn't let you teleport in the air. But if you lock your position, hold up on an angle, up left, and jump, and when Trace's head is hitting the ceiling, turn and shoot grapple that way, you can pull one of these that I actually also did in my run. And just put yourself on the other side of it. And then you would just do the thing to do drug skip. So that's what you do in the normal, like, any percent route. Because why go through hallucination sequence when you could sit literally all of Ukana? Do I have teleport right now? I do. Now, you want to see the really big trick for this. Of, like, probably the biggest time save in any percent yes major glitches is actually done from the worst area in the game by abusing a death warp. So actually I'm going to save right here. This isn't where you'd normally probably be saved. Because you would just go... You probably would end up just going from Ukana over to Eden. Either way. I go up. Alright, so, Chris, you remember the giant bee boss that you fought? Also, I think I've mentioned it before, but, up dashes are based on Trace's feet, so if you swing sideways and then up, you can go through, technically, 3 tiles, and that's why Sentinel Skip works. But yeah, so all the way up here was, our giant bee boss, Iruku. You remember, he shoots out the little drone ones, you blow him up to kill him. You might not actually remember that. Up in this terrible area. So in this terrible area, the yes major glitches category doesn't even fight Iruku, because you can do one of these where you hold down and then dash up on an angle, and it puts you in the wall. And you can just print screen through it. You would have Trenchcoat to go through here, you'd send drone over, and you pick up drone teleport. Don't even fight Uku. And so with drone teleport, you can teleport back, and the setup for this one is interesting because you take drone and move it all the way off over here, like right about under the pipe, and release your drone. And I'm gonna turn God mode off. And then at this point, you would take a death, which is what I'm going to do. It's probably just going to take an hour because I have so much freaking health and I could probably walk out of here faster. So I've never seen this many wisps before. So, Trace and the drone both store their last known coordinates separately. So, in this case, as far as the game knows, the last place drone has been is the coordinates for right there under Uku's area. Apparently, I also hadn't died in the save file, but that makes sense. Also, address bombs aren't used at all in the S Major Glitches category. Like, literally, we don't even pick them up. Which means you don't have to fight Clone. So yeah, the game believes that Drone's last known location was the coordinates for where it last stood right under Aruku's room. The game uses a method of putting you back in bounds by determining what your last known coordinates were. So it happens to be that there's this spot here in Kerr where there's nothing below us right here. And if we go through the floor and then shoot Drone out of bounds and then release it, it just happens to put it all the way up here to where you can just move right to have the game bring you to it and teleport back, and you're right up in front of Enhanced Drone Launch's room. Which is super convenient that it just puts us all the way at the top of Kerr. No, on cam lock. Because you would pick up Enhanced Drone Launch, and then your next stop would be right here to go to Temple. Speaking of Temple, I'm sure you remember this place, and having to go all the way up to get that key to come back down to go all the way down to get Redcoat. Well, funny story about that being that if you line yourself up to this door and do the move that I do to get out of Sentinel's room, which is called Temple Skip, it does some weird stuff. So, yeah, you did die a lot here. So the way this works is you have to jump, and while you're falling, you have to lock the camera, turn right, and shoot. It's lock the camera, hit grapple, and then turn right. During the one tile that you have to fall in this spot. But when you do it, that moved me off the door. I actually think this is harder to do here than it is to do in Sentinel's room, and I have no idea why. There it goes. When you do it, it does this. And if you wait for yourself to be pulled twice, and then jump, you end up down here. In the, like, complete lower part of... the lowest part of Temple, which happens to be past where you would need the key. So you get to completely skip picking up the key and skipping all the area in the middle section between upper and lower that doesn't have items. And if you just go through here, timing out some dashes and sound effects, it's actually rather easy to go right around because there's no enemies. I mean, yeah, there's definitely some jank. You end up doing one of these. And skipping the whole damn thing to just go straight down over to Redcoat. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely jank. Like, 100% jank. That's all. I want TP area 2, save room 2. Yep, that's Elsa Nova's. That's funny. This is the cutscene for her first introduction to Elsa Nova, but she's already fully repaired and gone. So, that's a thing that happened. So back up on the second tower. Yes, the second tower in Absu. There's this wall here that you could address bomb to get through, or you could 82 to get through and go down and check out the one item that's down there. But that's too So instead if you get, I think it's around here. I haven't done this one a lot, so this one might take me a second. Actually, I think it might be from this side. Hang on. Let's just do it this way because this way I can see. Yeah, so it should be that corner. Come on. Not hitting it far enough. There it is. You could just break yourself into this room from up there. And if you just walk left, jump, tap left, and then hit down, you'll put yourself in this room, which lets you come back into this room to reload it. And that's just around the corner from that room. So this is an absolutely interesting place that you can get to. There's another one that I wanted to actually take a look at because I don't actually know how this one is done. Eden is area 7's room. No, actually, let's do Kerr. So Archmage mentioned this one earlier, and like I think I knew it was a thing because I think Sabir's mentioned it before. But I don't actually know how this trick is done. So we're gonna go up here and find out. Why don't I have Fat Beam in this file? So somewhere around here in this room, you can get yourself into the room underneath us. Though I'm not entirely sure where. So the room underneath us is Address Bomb's room, which you either have to go through fighting Clone, which is going to lock your position there. Or lock your save there, because it locks you into that save right before him. Or you have to have address bombs to get in there. It's definitely not going to be on this side, because... yeah, the ceiling's too high. Just, yeah. That one's, what, 5 tiles thick? That might work. Hey, Falco, are you still around? Yeah, I don't know where this trick is supposed to be done in this room. But somehow you can clip from here down into there. Which would certainly be a trick to actually learn. Oh, there it is. So if you clip right there before the wall, you can end up in this spot here, which if you dash down, and then probably... you wouldn't want to go left, because left normally has a glitch wall here. So, if you got into this room, there's not going to be any items loaded because I glitched in here. But if you went all the way out to the right, and then just came back in, the room would load normally, and you could get whatever item it is. Which in this case is actually address bombs, because this is story mode. So, that's how you can get in here to get the address bomb item without actually having address bombs or fighting clone. Which I think requires teleport. Nah. No. Doesn't require teleport, but it's just a pain because it locks your save. But yeah, so that's a handful of the jank in this game. It's certainly not all of it. There's way more displacement warps and floor clips and all kinds of things than I have time to show today, because it is late and I need to get to bed. So, who's doing what tonight? Nobody I know is doing anything, apparently. Is anybody else playing Axiom Verge? There was some hours ago. Since when is this late for me? Since I started having to get up at 7 in the morning to do training. So yeah, this is actually really late for me. Like, I should have actually went to bed like an hour ago at least. Who's doing what? Gonna be fine. There is somebody else playing Axiom Verge. So we're gonna bounce on over to see Thy Lord Root, who's doing Axiom Verge. And yeah, we're gonna keep the Axiom Verge party going. But alright, I'm gonna get out of here, because like I said, it's late. I gotta work tomorrow. So thank you guys for coming by. Thank you for watching. I will be back during the week doing other stuff. Again, it's still kind of touch and go for my streams for the moment, because some days I'm not up to it after a whole day of working. But I'm sure I'll adjust to new work stuff, and I'll be back on doing regular daily stuff.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.
So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you all later in this week.